The much-awaited Akasa Airline finally hit the runway. The first flight of the airline from Mumbai to Ahmedabad was flagged off by Union Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia. He was virtually joined by Akasa Airline owner Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. In the inaugural phase, Akasa Air, whose airline code is QP, will launch its operation by offering 28 weekly flights between Mumbai and Ahmedabad starting from Sunday. Subsequently, starting 13th of August, the airline will start operating an additional 28 weekly flights between Bengaluru and Kochi. Scindia congratulated the new airline. Paulami now joins us for the very latest. Paulami, very interesting. One more airline in India now. What does the operational plan look like? Does it plan to go international? Is it only domestic? Tell us everything about this launch.
That's right. Akasa Air, of course, took to the skies for the first time today. Its first commercial flight from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. It has landed in Ahmedabad, and we've been speaking to some of the passengers who were on board that first flight, obviously, and they were quite excited. They said that it was a great flight, and obviously today, of course, Akasa has offered complimentary meals on the flight as well. Many are excited about the USP ports that are in fact available on board these Boeing 737 MAX aircraft that Akasa has in fact inducted into its fleet. So Akasa has big plans in terms of growing as an airline. At the moment, they have 2 aircraft, and the cities that they've joined with the network, which is, of course, expanding as we speak, are Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Kochi, Bengaluru, and Chennai. So the plan is to, in fact, join these cities across Akasa's network, but they will keep adding more and more cities. The plan is to go from metro to tier 2, tier 3 cities at the moment, and Akasa, like I said, has 2 aircraft at the moment, but hopes to have at least 18 aircraft by the first half of 2023. But it has already placed an order of 72 Boeing MAX 737 MAX aircraft. So it has major expansion plans as well, obviously to go international eventually as well when it meets the requirements in terms of operations or the number of aircraft that it has in its fleet. So it will be hoping to meet those requirements very, very soon to be able to, of course, fly international as well, Jyoti.
Right, and this is a Rakesh Jhunjhunwala venture as well, and we do know that airlines do operate on a very low operating profit margin as well. How does Mr. Jhunjhunwala feel about it? Have we heard from him?
Yes, Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala was present at Mumbai Airport this morning when, via a virtual conference, the first flight was flagged off by Union Civil Aviation Minister Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia, who was in Delhi. Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala was joined by the team of Akasa, including founder Vijay as well, who was present over there. They, in fact, spoke to the passengers as well at the boarding gate of the first flight as well. So, yes, he has obviously invested in an airline, in a new airline. At a time, there have been quite a few hiccups and trying times that the aviation sector has been facing over the past decade or so, especially a couple of recent black swan events as well, like the pandemic, which hit the aviation industry in a big way. For an airline, for investors, in fact, to have taken that kind of risk for Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, Aditya Ghosh, Vinay Dubey, to have taken that sort of a big challenge up to start a new airline, purchase new aircraft and start a new airline is a huge gamble that they've taken. But these are basically industry veterans. Vinay Dubey, Aditya Ghosh, these are aviation industry veterans. So they know everything about how to operate an airline. So there is a lot of, expectation from Akasa that Akasa indeed will turn out to be a big game changer as far as the aviation sector is concerned. And, the buzz, Jyoti, of course, in the aviation sector is Indigo will be watching very closely.
Oh yes, Indigo will be watching very closely. And on that note, Paulami, tell us a little about Akasa's competitors also and the USP that this airline has that is the differentiating factor.
Well, as far as Akasa is concerned, Akasa is a low-cost airline. It wanted to be an ultra-low-cost airline initially, but then they decided to give you a mix, the passenger, a mix of the economy and the premium, so to say, experience as far as flying with Akasa is concerned. So like I said, one of the unique features that passengers are excited about are the USP ports. that are available on board the Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. So that is something that they are excited about as well. So this is, Chetty, a very exciting year for Indian aviation because Akasa has obviously taken to the skies already as a commercial airline. And we're expecting that Jet Airways will also take to the skies again after it had to shut down a few years ago because of financial reasons.
For most entrepreneurs and for most billionaires today, starting an aviation company somewhere is also a badge of honor.
Absolutely. Like I said, it is a very challenging time for the aviation sector with, like I said, there have been events like the COVID pandemic, which has hit the aviation sector badly. People stopped flying. But Indian flyers are again taking to the skies. The Akasa, for instance, when it opened its bookings for the first sector, the Mumbai Ahmedabad route, on the 22nd of July, it sold out the entire flight in one day. So obviously, there were a lot of enthusiasts who wanted to get on that first flight. You know, you want the Akasa Air took to the skies. The first time I was on board QP1101. So a lot of influencers, a lot of enthusiasts from the aviation sector have been on board that flight, and we've been speaking to them for their experience and for their critical analysis of the flight and their experience. But there are also a lot of passengers who've flown on this flight as well. Like I said, the sector has been facing some trying times, and that was in fact referred to by the minister as well.
And you're absolutely right, Paulami. The sector is going through some trying times.